Hello everyone, welcome to this new video where we are going to continue our series of developing a platform game in C++ using SDL2 library. So, last time we covered our view component, which is a simple container to to render the say uh, render the say boxes. Right now it is only a box, but it's like a container. It's a container for element. Whatever I'm going to render element, it is a container for that. View is like a div of HTML. Just like what div is in HTML, view is in our say this game. This is done pretty much. We have uh, implemented parent-child relationship in this thing. That is adding a view in another view. That is making this view to child of this view. That is that it's the position of this view to is going is in respect to the position of this view. That is, uh, if I show you the demonstration, and then okay, so you can see that the position of this view two, that is 2020, is in respect with this with its parent, that is view, this white rectangle. This is white rectangle is the parent, which has x and y coordinate 100 and 100, and this view 2 has x and y coordinate 20 and 20. But this 20 and 20, that is x and y 20, is not with respect to the screen actually. It is with respect to the coordinates of this view, that is its parent, this white rectangle. So it is 20 from this white rectangle top and left. It is okay. So hope you understand. It is not that hard to grasp if you know a bit of say, graphs, geometry, coordinate geometry. Anyway, so that's it. And now we are going to put our next component, that is image view. Okay. So let's start with image view first. Let me see if everything is well with view. Okay, so all the stuff that is here and okay. So view is properly dealt with, but yeah, of course some things are left. And I need to add some more. So let me also implement to get parent actually did SPP. This is set parent. This will be get parent. So necessary and receive any events and colon get parent, and this will simply return this arrow parent. Okay. Does not match. Okay, this is void. We cannot set it to set it to view pointer, and then this will also be view pointer. Okay, so enough. Yep. We'll see if there is anything later on. Okay, so we have our index. That is our parent-child relationship coded. Uh, this thing add child is directly pushing it onto the stack, and we do not track how a child is identified within its parent. Okay. Hmm. Because if I want to remove a specific child, I need to know its index. So we should implement something like that. Okay, so let's just void new colon. Okay, should not be, it should be integer two, then new colon get child index, and this will be our viewpoint element. Maybe I have to say also, that's not said that. Simply said, okay. So let's say it view simple, and this function the nature to this. Okay. Um, and, and I think that's enough. Let me do this thing. So add child, get child index, and remove child. Okay. Add child index, and so this looks. Now all I have to do is search for this child index or index of this child if it is there. So how do I do that? Mm, I have this arrow children. This children dot find. I think there is something like that. Capacity. Don't remember all of the actions anyway. There was something like find your, let's see, begin capacity clears your begin data. There's something. Why isn't there any? Okay, no, I don't need to do this. I got it's simply a find to include some header for it. There is a find option. I think there's something like find. I know in C++ headers. I need to have it somewhere. So I think it was std find. I think it's not. Yep, it is find. Remember well because find was there. Use it. So how do I use it? Say it's okay. Give me something. Okay. First and in first last iterator and then value. Okay. So our first iterator is children dot dragging. This is not a member function. Is fine. It's actually a algorithm dot and what to find this view. And what is this erroring out on argument list? Steady find. Okay, there is some trouble. First, last, and well, that's all something we can see. First, last, and value to find. Why is it complaining? I don't know. No instance of function template matches argument list. Okay, so there's some issue with argument list, but so let me see what it is actually doing. So I stream bucket writer first, argument is this second. This template maybe some causing this issue. If you enter it directly, you don't even bother to implement it on a library. It's in there somewhere. Let me, no, I cannot for documentation. Anyway, let's advance and let's do it. It will work out if I do something with the children dot begin. This is your pointer and this is also your pointer. This is also your pointer. It's no type error in there. STD find first, last. Maybe some issue with the type. Maybe I don't know. Do I have to do it manually? I can also do it manually. I don't need to do something like this manually. It will be a bit inefficient, but I don't know. So for view pointer view, okay, view and the view pointer view child person and then with children. And if child equals view, then on children dot yes, there is nothing like say this is data. No, this is something I want. And I have to do it by manual for loop. I think it isn't going to be simple way. I'll see later how find works in C++. I don't remember the arguments well. I have used it, but I don't remember. Anyway, less than children dot length, children dot size. I should say a plus plus, and then if children I equals say view, then simply return it. Otherwise, return an answer. This will be alpha in future. So what are you doing? Simply we are iterating over all the children. That is this array, children array, and looking if this children has this view, has this past view. Okay, if it is there, then return this index and other. Okay, that's all. We don't need this for anything. Now we can literally implement our next container is text view or image view. Let's implement text view first then. Okay, first let me rename it this. Incorrectness name. Okay, text view.svpc. Now let me first say pragma once. And then I'll include the CIO string equal anyway I'll get plus that view and of course self and private and public. There will be definitely a render function which is going to render this whole text view. Okay. And for using SDL render, I will need SDL dot add tools, and now let's sketch. So first thing there will be for text there will be a text. Text will be stored in a string. So first let me include the string, and then there will be a string say str maybe and a string text. And this will be std string. By the way, I'm not using name spacing in here. Maybe I'm not using any name spacing in here. Like usually, what I do is uh, wrap all of these classes or functions which I defined around the namespace. The namespace lets something like game whatsoever. But I'm not doing that because I don't see it as anything necessary to be done because I'm for most of the things I'll be writing, they're not going to be conflicting with any standard library or anything like that. And I'm not going to use something that heavy that is going to be going to conflict with the naming of my classes. Anyway, so I'm not using namespaces in here. It is not needed. So let's just leave it for that. And now, for text words, we nothing should start, but first step to make a constructor name. Text view. There's a it is must that you pass on the text. So I'll take a string, std string, string text, and then or having a text I'm having. I need to have a color for this text, size for this text. So okay, no, okay, SDL color, and then for size this will be UNT size. And of course, there'll be a bounding box to it, and this class will inherit view. Okay, this class is going to inherit view. We are going to have include, we are going to include view.sp. This turns into not view, and we are going to view.sp. Now let's see. Here's an so, and of course, we implement on the way. First, we need text, and then we need color. Color is not necessary. It will have some default colors by itself. So, STL color. Let's some default elements in here. Color will be say 255, 255, default will be white. And STL color, STL BG color will be a background color too. That background color will be actually the background color of the say view that we are passing. So it will be passed on to the view. How is it called? Mm, okay, you have to call this constructor, and for this to be called, I need a dimensions to okay. Need a dimension visible. So the dimensions, let's say right now it's null. PTR say for visible, it will be visible. Okay, null PTR I cannot say that this is something like mm, mm, how to pass dimensions. Anyway, I need dimensions. So I don't want to copy the dimensions. So but I think there is a distinction between the dimensions of the text box itself and the background it is going to. Cannot pass the dimension of text box into the background. I mean, let me make it clear first. So what I'm trying to say is, let's say, okay, let's say we are having this window and we are having a text rendering in it. But we cannot just say this is our this is our say this is our width of this text view. This is our width of this view, width of our view. The view that is the background view slash, or I should say background. Let me say view slash background. This is width of our view, but we cannot have this width of our background as the width of our say a text box. Why we cannot have the text box? Because text box can have text uh, that may not fit in this whole width. Maybe it is only hello. This will not fit in this whole background. This will not fit in this whole background. I mean, this is only this much text, so it doesn't need to fit in this background. of course we can center it, we can align it left, we can align it right. It is not going to fit in this whole background. We can have this as much we want, this width, this views width, but this text box is going to have only this much width. Or maybe shall not even this, but only this much. But definitely it's going to be shorter than this width. Or maybe if there's too much text, then it's going to be longer than say this background width. So we need to separate these two. Okay. So I am going to have STL back text box. And for background, initially, actually you can adjust the background the way you want anyway. It doesn't need your stuff. But text box width cannot be controlled. I think should not be controlled by the user. So width of this text box, I don't want it to be controlled by the user itself. He can hide or do something with the text itself, but he cannot control the width of this text box. He should not be able to control this. Mm, Yep. This text box width is going to be calculated programmatically, I think. Yep. That's the right choice. We are not going to compute it per se by doing something like this. Or say by giving it to the user how much you need to have. Anyway, but why are we doing something like this? Can't we just render text? Simply we cannot actually. The SGL library does not provide anything like text rendering or stuff. We need to use first we need to use SDL for that. SDL for that, and even SDL only provides the basic texture rendering for this text. It does not provide how much width this box should consume. I mean, it has functions where you can get this width, but you are not going to say get something like a function like render text and simply pass the text you have, and there you go. You have your text render on the screen. You do not have something like that in SDL built in. Really, there is something like draw text, and you are simply going to pass the text and you have it rendered. But in STL, we do not have that. We have to whether use some other library or we can implement it by ourselves, and that's what we are doing in this video. We have implemented it by ourselves. Okay. Uh, so let's get to go and dimensions for this thing. Let them be controlled by the user. So, background size festival dimensions. Dimensions and okay, so I think what is it saying? Expected this. Why? Okay, I cannot. I don't need. I don't have to call it here. I don't have to. I have to call it in the definition. Actually, I need to devise C++ a bit. So text view.cpp. First, let me paste it. Okay. Anyway, so this is our text view, and I think that should be enough for this video because first you need to understand this concept, and I can of course implement it in some time. But I think this is going to be enough for this video. We have implemented some methods in this .cpp, that is for this view component. Then for text view component, we are going to implement more methods, and then and I will also make some idea how to manage this text view because this thing is not going to be that easy as you. And this image view is easy. We are going to put these both components in the next video, text view and image view, and then we can simply start making the game component, that is our player and stuff, because then we have the image and text and this button. This button is also very easy. You can We simply need the text view and wrap it around the click functionality. That will be very easy. Uh, I have the basic idea how to code all of these, but let's make it very get a bit slow paced because that is just very more easy and easy to understand and say also a bit of say relaxing to me. I can do it very easily. Then we can have more features, or maybe I have more motivation to add many and much many things. Say project. Maybe I get more ideas how I have to do the things in future. Anyway, so for images, let's see. I'm thinking about how actually this game should be structured. That's why I'm making it a bit delayed because otherwise these components are not that hard. But I also have to think about how am I going to implement the player using these components, and that's why I'm going a bit slow. And because these concepts may be for somebody who is very at the very beginning who has never done this, maybe may find this whole thing a bit difficult. That's why I'm also making it a bit slow paced. So you can have it your own way how you want to. But if you think that I'm just making too when it's too slow, you can read the SDL documentation. It's not that hard. I'm at least saying it. You can try taking picking around the things, and it will work out. You will get a good result because there is nothing much to do here. Only because the basic structure is done. Only the components need to be colored and then start putting the main game. We have already a basic idea of it. We are going to add these platforms in a line, and then these are slimes that these are going to be enemies. And of course, this is not going to be easy because we have to blend because we have to use these. Maybe I'm not going to use all of this. Maybe I will. Let's see how much I'm. Where is the purple player? Is there no player? There's a player sprite sheet. Slime purple platforms. Here is our knight. Yeah, here is our player. So this is our player. I think for our say image view demo, I'm going to use this image, knight's image. And of course, I also need to sound. Okay, you also need sound. I think I forgot something. Okay, I need to add this too. So let me have it. Sound.hpp. This is going to be a sound engine of our game. And sound.cpp. And then the project next we are going to have our player and game maybe. Yeah, that's it. And I don't know why I want to keep all these things in a folder, but let's have them like this for now. There aren't any problems, and there will be clear and concise names, so I think it's need to be done. So that's it for today's video. We have just for a bit of functions and restructured the project a bit. Uh, we need to put this component text view, and this text view has this thing of maintaining dimensions across, maintaining two rectangles, that is a text box rectangle and a background rectangle. That is these two things this component has to maintain. How we are going to do it? It's not that hard actually. I can put it here. Okay, let me see if I can just finish it now. I just want to make it more complicated in just a video. The last video was just literally an hour long, and it will be a bit tricky for a beginner to understand. That's why I want to make it a bit slow paced, and also for my own convenience too. Maybe because I'm a bit lazy and I don't want to make just too many videos. So this text view colon text view, and then text view colon and first we'll render the background. So mm, Let me accept the render first. To return void, void, and, okay, and then uh, I'm first going to call this arrow u colon and okay. So it's going to run the current view, and then I'm going to render a text box and it's say stuff. Okay. Okay. By the way, when I said that this width or say height of this text box is independent of actually the height of this background, maybe, but to most extent, well, maybe height is not, but width is actually. But the x and y coordinates are not. That is, x and y coordinates are going to be the same actually. They are actually uh, they are actually same for this both background rectangle and this text box rectangle. That is, the x and y coordinates of this text box are going to be same as this background rectangle. So we to adjust that to in here. This constructor. Let me close the other file. So constructor and so this thing and that's it I think. And now to render our text first we need to create our load our font first. And loading our font is not a easy load font. Hmm, maybe this one should be static. Static PDF font pointer. Should I stop? I don't know. Do what I want to do. I'm going to first car pointer font path and PT size. That is our size of the font. The size of the text that the font is going to load up on. That is how large the text is going to be. The font is going to be okay, I think. And now I have to put this. Okay, this is going to be a static code font. It's simply wrapper. I think font and font pointer. Okay, I don't know why, but I think this for this method I'm not going to continue this video because putting this component in the other components in the next video is going to be a lot easier because by then I will be having a basic idea how to create the home screen because and right now I had only thought about the say these components that is how to render text and image, but I need to think about now home screen. So first there will be a play, I think play button. I don't know why this disappeared. Okay, so here, and first thing there we will be having a play button. Then we'll be having a play or maybe resume button or new game button. New game. Initially, this play button is going to be disabled. Play or let's say resume button name. So let's make it resume. Resume new game, and then there will be something like say settings. I think this is all right. Okay, settings, or maybe yeah, there's something like that. And here will be our something like say about button out. And here will be our say. I want here to something. We'll see what we can put here. Um, okay, let's move the setting button to here. Let's have the setting button here. Something like we'll make a logo for the setting and remove setting from the new game model. Okay, this is your screen. This whole thing on the screen. Okay. So for now, this much is enough. Let's see the new game. And of course, there won't be any loading screen. I won't, because I don't think we need a loading screen for this game. We are not loading any file or anything from the disk for now. It will take that will take some time. So select new game, and let's say there won't be any levels actually. There will be only one level, and its difficulty will keep increasing after time to time. Okay, and the progress will be saved actually. Save, yeah. So maybe we need a loader to actually load the things, so that the progress is being loaded. And we will set in a file the progress, user's progress. And that's it. Okay. So this will be our structure of the home screen, and then we'll be have a game screen, and our game screen will have a play pause button in here. Something like say this. It will be a bit transparent. Play pause button in here, and there will have a sound buttons that is whether to show to play sound or not, and that's all. Rest there will be all again, and of course there will be a score in here too. It will all be transparent. Let's say zero, or not say zero. Let's say coins. Let's say there will be a coins, something like that. Maybe lives and coins. There will be a arrow here, and there will be something like say lives. How many lives you are having? And there will be a say coins. So how should you show coins and lives? For lives, we need a heart, and inside that heart, we will have our counter. Let's say we have 5 lives left. User can also gain lives, and for coin, we will have a coin, and we will have a counter. Let's say user have 10 coins. Okay. So there will be a heart actually. So let me just name what's heart. This will be a coin. Maybe I need to design some say anyway, and there will be our player and platforms, of course, something around doing whatsoever. Of course, this thing is going to be very small, so it doesn't make any hindrance on the gaming area or the playing area, and that's how it's supposed to be. At least let's see how we're going to do it. Okay, so that's it for today's video, and I have made some plans for this game now. Thanks for watching. And of course, we are going to continue putting this components and then start actually getting this home screen and screen. Okay, thanks for watching.